Good morning, everyone. Today I'm doing a project to take you along as we go. What I'm doing is I'm going to make a whiteboard that's double-sided. I'm going to put a picture frame around it. And the first thing I needed to do was I needed to cut it in half. I measured to the middle. I put some blue tape on my whiteboard so that I can put a piece of flat metal as a straight edge on top of the tape, and the tape will keep it from scratching my whiteboard underneath. I ran my 4-inch grinder down the side of that, and I've cut it. Now, you didn't get to see that part, but any way you want to cut this in 2 equal halves is fine. Okay, so what I've done is I went and put my piece of metal up. I'm going to pull my blue tape off. That blue tape was only on there to give the metal a little bit of a spacer so that I don't scratch my whiteboard when I'm cutting it. Okay? Pull these off. And on the edge, if you have a little problem with the edge, it's not going to matter because you're going to use your picture frame will cover that edge up. I've got my air sprayer, and first things first, guys, make sure you use your PPE. Make sure if you're ever using an air blower, or you're using saws or routers, what we're going to do today, or cut-off saws, anything like that, make sure you wear your safety glasses and any necessary PPE. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and as you can see, I'm just going to blow off these 2 pieces of whiteboard. When you go to wipe off your whiteboards, these things will scratch fairly easy. It's hard enough to buy one at the lumber yard that doesn't have a scratch mark on it. You can get it home without scratching it. But make sure that you wipe them off with a very soft cloth. A terry cloth will pick up all the dust on them, as you can see. And what we do is we want to wipe these off, get all the dust off that we can, pick them up and wipe down that edge, because that blower won't blow all of it off. Set them aside, and I would set them face to face so that if they do blow over or something bumps them, you're going to hit the back of each one, but you won't hit the front side. What we're going to do is we're going to measure these and see how thick they are together. These whiteboards are an 1/8 inch thick, and so if you put 2 of them together, because that's how deep you're going to have to make your groove, you put 2 of them together, you've got a 1/4 inch, and so you want to go just a hair over a 1/4 inch deep on the groove that you make for your picture frame. I've got some 10-foot 1x4s that I'm going to use for my picture frame. Now, I'm not gonna, my picture frame that's gonna hold my whiteboard is not gonna be 3.5, 4 inches wide. It's not gonna be that full width. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna route down each side, and then I'm gonna take and rip these through the table saw. I don't want to give you the impression that we are a wood shop. We are building this frame for this whiteboard in a metal shop. All right, we do some woodworking, but very little, so I don't have all the fancy jigs, the routers, all that stuff. I have a router, and I have some bits, some router bits, and this is the one I'll be using. It cuts a half inch deep, but I do not have your jigs and everything to hold it. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to point you down here, what I'm going to do is I've got my 1x4 laid out here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my router, and I am going to clamp this board to my makeshift table, and I'm going to use piece of cedar. You can use a piece of rubber, but I just don't want tracks in my board that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to literally just clamp this down, just like that. I am using metal clamps with a piece of cedar that I have just to hold this and clamp it. I'm going to route this side and this side, and then I will slide the board down and reposition my clamps as I go. I've got another one over here holding this in. So all that's doing is just holding my board that I'm about to route so it doesn't move around on me. Now I'm going to rig up my router. When you're dealing with a router and you're changing bits, make sure you always keep it unplugged. You never want to work on a router when this thing's plugged in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bit that's going to cut my groove in my board. I'm going to put my bit into my router, and I'm going to set the depth that I want to set it so that I can cut that width of those two, a little bit more than the width of those two whiteboards, and we know together they're about 1/4 inch. So I'm going to make sure it's a little bit more than 1/4 inch. You want that tight because you don't want that coming out of there at 5,000 RPM. I chose this router bit mainly because this router bit has this little wheel on it. It'll ride along the edge of the board, and it will keep me from plunging too deep into the board, and it'll set my depth, my inside depth of this groove that I'm going to cut. But now what I need to do is I need to measure from the top of my tooth to my platform. And how you do that, how a lot of people will do that, is they will just set it right here on the board. And I know you can't see this, but they'll set it on the board and they'll get the depth that they want it. I'm going to set my 1/4 inch on one side, and then the other side will just cap it and hold it together. I got my router bit in my router. I've got it plugged up. I'm going to hold my cord out of the way with my opposite hand. I always like to put it over me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my router flat on the board, turn it on. I'm going to move into the board and cut my groove down the length of this board, okay? Before I do too much, I want to measure my groove because I've only got so much wood. I want to make sure that I measured correctly on the depth. I've cut this groove into my board here. Now, when I started with the router, I didn't just go all the way in and push it because it'll splinter it out sometimes. So you take a little off at a time until you get the depth, the depth from the edge of the board in that your bit will allow, and then you go as far as you want. Now what I'm wanting to do, what I'm wanting to do is I got to measure the depth of my groove here to see if it's at least 1/4 inch or more. I've got to measure that so that I want to make sure I set my router bit correctly. Now, as you can see, guys, it throws stuff all over you, so you want to make sure you wear your glasses. We've got our board grooved with the router. Now what we did was we just made a groove on one side. I'm going to show you. We made a groove on one side all the way up and down on one side and then the other. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut this board right in half with a skill saw or a table saw. Then we're going to use this other board over here as our cap for this. All right, so this is a 10-foot board. Once we rip it in half, we're going to have 20 foot of board feet. It's going to be small, but we don't need a 3.5, 4 inch border. Now, guys, when you're using a router, and we're done with the router, when you use the router, as you can see, it throws stuff everywhere. And you can even see, I know I'm not dressed in the best attire today because I knew I was going to be out here doing this. And it'll get in your nose, but it will get all over you, okay? So just know when you get ready to use a router, it's going to throw stuff everywhere. Now we're going to take our board, both boards, we're going to run them through the table saw. What we're going to do is we're going to use this little table saw, set it up, run these two 10-foot boards through it, make us some picture frame material. Then we're going to come over here to our cutoff saw. We'll show you how it works. Alright guys, so what I'm doing, I'm going to get my table saw set up again. Make sure it's not plugged in when you're working with your blade and you're doing some measuring. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank my blade up, and I want a very square cut. And I'm going to make sure it's as straight up and down as possible. Okay, that's about as good as I'm going to get it with this blade. Alright, so wonder why I've used a big square? It's because we're a metal shop, not a wood shop. The board, I measured my board. My board is 3.5 inches wide. It's a 1x4, 3.5 inches wide. So I know that half of 3.5 is 1 3/4. I don't want to leave a 1 3/4 inch gap in my board. What I want to do is I want to measure to the exact center. If you see me here, I want to measure to the exact center of my saw blade. All right, and I'm going to measure on both sides. I'm going to measure 1 3/4 to the very middle. Okay, make sure that's close as I can get it, right to the middle of that tooth. 1 3/4 on this side, because you got to account for the width of the saw blade. We are going to take our 1x4 and we are going to run it through that table saw. I've got 2 10-footers that I've got to rip right down the middle with this table saw, and that's going to be my framing material for my whiteboard. Turn on the saw. I'm making 2 1 3/4 inch boards with a groove on them that I can put together and use as my framing material. I'm going to use this push board. When I get down here close to the end, I'm almost to the end of this first board, I'm going to push it through with this push board. Now, very carefully, you want to really be careful when you start one like this. I'm going to push it down, make sure it's against the fence good, flip it back on. Now I've got 2 1 3/4 inch boards that I can put my 90s on and I can use to enclose my whiteboard with. Now, that's the first half. Now I've got another board over here, another 10-footer that I did not groove, it will cap these boards and it'll make one groove, okay? Alright guys, I'm just going to lay one up there so I can start getting some measurements for my frame. The reason I'm going to cut it a little bit long and I'm going to leave a few inches of play is because I know that I'm going to have to cut that 45-degree angle right there. Alright. So as you can see, I've got a 45-degree angle cut. I'm going to lay it just like this with my 45 right exactly with that corner there, okay? I'm going to come down here on this end and I'm going to take and I'm going to mark the corner down here. And now I know I need to cut this away. I'm going to have a 45 this away, but here's going to be my mark to cut it on. I'm going to do the bottom first, and then I'm going to come back and cut the top. So I'm going to take this one and I am going to lay it on my board, get it lined up. I am going to draw me a 45 line on there, okay? Go to the other end. Alright. I'm going to take this one over to the saw. I'm going to cut it. These have to be as accurate as possible. You want There's that one. Flip this one around to my 45 on the other side. Now I've got my 2 boards for one side. Put you over here where you can see. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I've got one that will go down, and this one will sandwich it on top. And once I sandwich it on top, you can see that groove will hold the whiteboards, and then I'll start screwing them all together. There's my first piece. I got to do 1, 2, 3 more. Alright guys, I want to show you what I've done up to this point. So I've cut my boards, and as you can see, I've put a groove in my boards. I put a groove in my boards and I've 45 the corners, and I put them together with a nail on each end and one in the middle, okay? Or not a nail, but a self-tapping screw. I used a self-tapping screw so it wouldn't split the wood out. I am placing my boards I put 2 of them on the side and I clamped them together. And then these 2 on the ends, what I did was I screwed them together with a small screw that I drilled with a 3/32 inch drill bit, and I used a 2 1/4 inch screw to screw them together. Okay, so but I pre-drilled them. As you can see, I put a 1 1/4 inch screw here, holds my sides together. Then I put a screw on each end, one this way and one this way, to hold the frame together. Okay, now what I've done is I've left the top open. I've got it clamped together, but I've left the top open. So what I'm going to do, and you've got to be real easy when you do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand this on its end right now with the clamp in place, and I'm going to take my other whiteboard right here, and I'm going to slide it down on the back side of this one, so I'll have a double-sided whiteboard. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm not going to put the other end on yet. I'm going to have to put my board in here. Now you've got to do this in a way that you don't scratch your whiteboard. Okay, you don't want to scratch your whiteboard. So I put one in. That gives me my measurement. I'm going to clamp my clamp down pretty tight just to hold it together. And I'll loosen it off when I get it on the ground. I'll slide it down. And this is a pretty big whiteboard. It's 4 foot by 4 foot, or somewhere in that range, about 50 inches by 50 inches when you get the frame on it. Okay, now I'm going to loosen my clamp. As you can see from the back side and from this side, I have my frame in here, but I have a space. I'm going to slide the other one back to back in here, and then I'm going to put my top on. All right. Okay, so like I said, I've got this one clamped together. I've got the 2 bottom corners screwed together for my frame. I've got to be real careful. I don't want to scratch my whiteboard. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start it on the end, slide it in the groove, and put the other side in. Now I'm going to hold my frame together so it can slide in. I'm going to bump it, let it fall in the groove. Sitting in the groove, they're ready to be capped with my other one. What I'm going to do, line my grooves up and put my cap on and screw these together. That's all we're going to do, screw them together. That's going to seal it all the way. Line these corners up, and I'm going to drill a pilot hole. I'm going to drill a pilot hole from this end in this top board back in here, and then I'm going to use my 2 1/4 inch screw, and it'll sit inside the wood like that right there. Push them down flush on the table. Okay, I drilled that corner. Taking these little screws are square bit screws. Okay, that one's good and snug. That's going to lock that whiteboard into that frame. I'm going to do the other end, the other corner as well. Get these flush. Alright, switch my bits and let's lock it in with a screw, and this will hold it together. As you can see, I wanted to barely countersink it, and you got to be careful or it'll split. That right there wanted to split on me. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to toenail it with a screw this away, and then in the bottom board a screw that away on both sides. Okay, I got the final process done. Got it toenailed in on both sides here. I've got screws around the front. Got the whiteboard sandwiched between my frame. So I'm good there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an easel.